Hi, this is Makola Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I'm doing part 3 today of 5 dimensions of self-care. 5 dimensions of self-care as a young man. And this is part 3 today, and I want to deal with part 3 of these dimensions, which is what we call spiritual dimension. I want to deal with spiritual dimension today. If you want to look after yourself, take care of yourself, it's very important that you look at each and every dimension in your life and make sure that you take care of that. Now, today I want us to embark on the spiritual dimension, which is very important. In spiritual dimension, if you want to take care of your spiritual dimension, you're going to need, as a young man, to meditate upon the Word of God. It is very important that as people, we have got God that we believe in. And as you believe in God, there is what we call the Word of God that you need to be meditating upon day and night. To understand the Word of God and meditate upon it day and night. What is this going to help you? This is going to clear your mind. This is going to channel you to understand the path of your way. This is going to reshape your purpose and your calling, and you will be a sober-minded individual as a young man. You'll be able to know what to do and what not to do when you meditate frequently upon the Word of God. The Word of God brings hope to us, and the Word of God builds us and gives direction. The Word of God gives us hope every day. So therefore, as a young man, if you meditate upon the Word of God, I want to tell you now that is going to help you to actually elevate you in the dimension of self-care. So in other words, that is taking care of yourself by meditating upon the Word. Because it is going to give you hope. It's going to revive you. It's going to energize you. It's going to encourage you. It's going to make you to rise up where you are. And that is self-care. And you taking care of yourself when you meditate upon the Word of God. Secondly, in this spiritual dimension of self-care, you need to find a purpose in your life. Now, finding of a purpose have become a difficult task for people to do. But yet, I want to emphasize today that you need, and every one of us, we definitely need to find our purposes. Now, finding a purpose may actually look tricky and difficult, but there are some easy tips that I want to give you about how to find your purpose. Now, finding a purpose, of course, some of you may find it by finding out what is your passion in life. What is that you get happy when you do? What is that you get excited when you perform it? What is that you swim like a fish in water when you're doing it? And that's what we call passion, something that you've got passion of. And that's maybe the way that I can tip you to find what your purpose is all about. Because your purpose will always be exciting to do. Your purpose will always be something that you are enjoying in doing, you're passionate in doing, and you don't see time when you are in it because time just runs, because this is what you do, what you like, what you want, and what you love. And that's very important because passion becomes very important. Now, the other thing to identify your purpose is what is that you hate the most. Now, the thing that you hate the most may actually reveal the direction of your purpose as well. For an example, if you hate human abuse, you hate other people being abused, your purpose may be to be taking care of the people. Say, for instance, if you hate abuse of children, for instance, you hate the people that abuse children and so on and so on, that might be directing you that your calling or your purpose is actually to look after children, to take care of children. Now, that which you love the most, that which you're passionate about the most, that which you hate the most, those are the type of questions that you should actually ask yourself if you have to find your purpose. But I want to tell you now that people that have found their purpose, they're able to take care of themselves because they are tranquil in mind. They are peaceful in mind because they finally found that which they've been looking for. They finally found themselves because when you find your purpose, you find yourself. When you find your purpose, you find your path and your calling, and you know exactly who you are when you find your purpose. This is very key, and I want to emphasize that. Now, as a young man, you need to find your purpose. As a young man, you need to discover your purpose in life, because that discovery of purpose in life is going to set you on the right path. It's going to assist you to move in the right direction. And you're going to become a better person because you found your purpose. That's very key. And that's part of self-care, because when you find your purpose, as I said, you become a sober-minded person. You become healthy, you do well, and you focus, and you find that success becomes part of your life. And therefore, you need to find your purpose. Now, the other thing in spiritual dimension is finding a meaning. Finding a meaning in life. Now, a meaning in life, one, is brought about by the purpose. Now, purpose, when you found it, remember, it is not automatically going to be instituted. So, therefore, you need to have an intention to do your purpose after finding it. And that is the only way you're going to find meaning in life. A meaning in life is actually able to wake you up in the morning, because you actually look forward to the new day. You look forward to the following day. You look forward to meet people when you've got a meaning in life. Now, the people that have found a meaning in life, they're actually people that are driven, people that are purposeful, people that are having direction in their lives, people that can plan things and do according to those plans. So that's meaning that you found in life. As I say, every person who has found a meaning in life is somebody who has found direction in their lives, and everything is fulfilling that which they do. In the spiritual dimension of self-care, you need to be prayerful, because it is actually self-care to be prayerful. It's a self-care to be able to speak to your God, to communicate to your God. Because the more you communicate with your God, the more you're given direction, the more you're given the lead, the more you're given guidance, the more you're directed, and your steps are directed and led to your purposes and even to your successes as well. And many people will tell you that prayer has guided them into the right paths, has given them actually what we call green pastures, because they've been able to be led to the right directions through prayer. When you pray, God is able to communicate back, because remember that prayer is speaking to your God. Now, to take care of your spiritual being is taking care of yourself as well. And this is what we call self-care, because anybody who doesn't take care of their spiritual lives, they don't take care of themselves. Because remember, as an individual, you are the spirit actually staying in the body. So you are not the body that we see. You are the spirit that is inside the body. So you are actually, a human is a spirit that is residing in the body and has a soul. And when you understand that concept, you will understand that you are not what we see in the physique. You are not what we see in the body. The body is important, of course, as I've said, is the only instrument that God gave us to serve Him with. It's the only instrument that makes us to be legal on earth. So that's the body. But the spirit man is us. So therefore we need to take care of the spirit man, and prayer becomes a great ingredient of that. So I want to urge you as a young man to become prayerful in your life, and that will set you in the right path. And you'll never go wrong when you're prayerful in your life. Therefore, I want to emphasize this and make sure that you know and understand that prayer, therefore, formulates a great ingredient of your life, and you become a better person in your spiritual dimension of self-care. The other thing is mindfulness. I want to emphasize that if you want to become spiritual sound, so you need to be mindful. Now, when we talk about mindful, is somebody who is putting considerations in everything that you do and say. You become mindful of the people. You become mindful of your steps. You become mindful of your plans and everything that you do, you are mindful of. Because the people that are not mindful do anything, anytime, anyhow. And therefore they lead themselves into danger as well, because they do things that they're not supposed to do because they're not mindful. But as a young man, I want to urge you that if you want to look after your spiritual dimension of self-care, make sure that you're mindful in everything that you do. Because when you're mindful, you are able to make choices. You're able to make decisions that are sound. And when you make choices, you make the right choices because you're mindful of that. When you choose the people that are around you, that hang around with you, you become mindful of those as well. Because it's not every individual that is hooking up with you. It's not every individual that is aligning with you that is the right individual in your life. Not everybody is having the right path to be in your life. So therefore, be mindful always and at all times, because as you become mindful as a young man, you are actually doing what we call a self-care in your spiritual realm. That's very, very important that we emphasize that. I want to end up here today. Your host, Mike Spokane. I want to urge you to join us as we deal with part 4 of this great topic. And I hope that you're learning something out of this. May the good Lord bless you. Join us with part 4 tomorrow. And allow me to say cheers for now.